Okay, I'm not greasy. I just took a shower. So anyway, today we have Morrissey, and I am not a dog on a chain. The song here from the album. Of course, this is the title track, and I've listened to most of the songs on this album, but not the title track. So we're gonna get into it. Talk about it after. I can already kind of, I already kind of know where we are probably gonna go here. But let's get into it. Talk about it after, and let's have some fun for Friday. Yeah.
Not a dog on a chain.
Very bouncy.
I use my own brain. I can turn the conversation off. I'm too clever to be robbed. I am not a dog on a chain. Thanks all the same. I have patience and I have time, both of which are mine. I hear a call, I hear a cry. I raise my voice, I have no choice. I raise my hand, I hammer twice. I see no point in being nice. I am not a dog on a chain. I use my own brain. I do not read newspapers, they are troublemakers. Listen out for what's not shown to you, and there you find the truth. For in a civilized and careful way, they'll sculpture all your views. So open up your nervous mouth and feel the words come streaming out in volume, pitch and rising cries, opening your blinkered eyes, for otherwise you'll never know who you are or all that you can do. If you want to, if you want to, if you want to.
Yes.
I am not a dog on a chain. You've got to be insane. One is company and two is a crowd, and crowds are loud. Oh, maybe I'll be skinned alive by Canada Goose because of my views, because of the truth, because of my fleece, because of my niece. Like drinking ink, the words explode, fatter than fists, louder than blows, fatter than fists, louder than blows. The dead are dead, ice cold and hard, to where they can't be overcharged. They have no breath, they have no eyes, at least they won't be dying twice.
Jesus Christ. All right, Morrissey, and I am not a dog on a chain because I have a cat and it's getting into things. My goodness. So hopefully she doesn't make too much noise during this little breakdown now. Okay, so a thunderous, thudding, bombastic track, insert more of your words there like that. It's just so loud. It's just so what's the word, obnoxious, but not obnoxious in a bad way, but like I don't know, it's so much music, coming at you, and Morrissey's shouting his conviction. The drums here are just, like I said, just thunderous, and when at points again when Morrissey would almost get faster, it almost sounds like he's rapping in a way, and just get faster, and he would get louder, and all the instruments would get louder, and it created such a such a booming sound, obviously, and such a booming message, I guess you would say, too. And like I said off the top, you kind of know where Morrissey's going to go with this here, especially, you know, for this being in 2020. This is very typical Morrissey. Again, he's not shy about saying what he wants to say and what he believes in, and that's the whole point. Whatever, I guess, side you land on, I feel like, you know, he you know, he has that point where it almost feels like he's feeling empathetic for, and, you know, Morrissey's always talked about these things in songs, feeling empathy, and obviously feeling sad, feeling depressed. I mean, it's no different for him, but just feeling empathy for people who are not living like themselves, who are not living, I guess, who don't know who they are. Again, it's all about, you know, speaking your mind. I guess it's all about being yourself. That's the whole point, you know, being yourself, feeling free, feeling liberated, whatever that means to you. But again, just being yourself and not following somebody or a crowd blindly. That's, again, no matter what side you're on, whether you agree with Morrissey or not, that's the whole point. I feel like he's just saying, you know, be yourself and find out who you are, you know, dig deeper, you know, don't just follow, I guess, what you see on the news and all this stuff. That's what really comes to mind off the top. But again, the instrumentation here, I can't say it enough, just so loud and just so boisterous and just so airy. It had an airy atmosphere. I almost said temperature or something, I don't know why, an airy atmosphere to it, and yeah, it was just, I mean, that's the whole point here. I mean, especially with the headphones on, and, you know, the song was already, you know, at a good volume. It's just so much coming at you. And again, it's, I mean, I guess that was the point, just to create such a bombastic sound that you can't deny it, and it's just, you know, undeniable itself. The bass here, I gotta say, I love the bass work. That was very prominent. Again, I always say, you know, it was prominent, but it was, I mean, my God, I love the heavy bass in there. You could hear it underneath Morrissey's vocals and underneath the drums. Again, the drums here were just fantastic, excellent. My God, they created such a great vibe to the track already. And Morrissey's voice, I just love his his vocal melody and how he would say, you know, I am not a dog on a chain. He has a sarcasm about him already. And he is witty in the lyrics too, and so yeah, I don't know, I loved his sarcasm, loved his wittiness, I loved his vocal melody, like I said, his delivery. I like this a lot, and I did see, I don't know what I'm doing this for, but I did see, you know, people talk about in the YouTube comments and stuff like that some of these lyrics are cringy, and and I get it, I guess, whatever. But again, it's just like, I don't know, for me, it's not the end of the world, and it's just like, whatever. I was just really into the whole music. I was just into the whole thunderous vibe that we had here, and the lyrics were, you know, coming after. And we'll get into the lyrics right now, because why the hell not? My goodness. So, again, this is from his album, I'm Not a Dog on a Chain, just looking here at the little bio on genius.com. And yeah, you know, written by Morrissey, kind of slandering the media and such. And yeah, again, it's pretty straightforward. I think we understand. So let's get into the first verse, because we'll talk about that stuff even more here. So with the first verse, I am not a dog in a chain. I use my own brain. So again, it's sarcastic in a way. It's witty, but he's being straightforward. He's being real. He's being truthful to himself. And I feel like the point here, although there is, you know, some humorous parts, perhaps you would think, again, the wittiness is there. There is a point here where I think the song's purpose is almost to make you feel uncomfortable in a way, to make you feel nervous, as he goes on to say later, you know, talk about, you know, open your nervous mouth, you know, say what you need to say. Yeah, and I didn't mean to make a song reference there, but there we go. Anyway, I use my own brain. Again, he rules his own life. He rules his own world. He thinks for himself. You know, he's a free thinker, whatever the hell. I could turn the conversation off. I'm too clever to be robbed. I am not a dog in a chain. Thanks all the same. I love the sarcasm there again too. Thanks, you know, thanks all the same. Thanks for offering whatever the hell. But I'm not a dog in a chain. I have my own brain. You know, leave me alone. I have patience and I have time, both of which are mine. Again, he feels free. He feels liberated. He's not owned by anybody. He doesn't follow blindly other people. He thinks for himself. This all kind of stuff comes to mind. And again, when he says, I'm too clever to be robbed, honestly, I just think about being robbed. I just think about him being pickpocketed or whatever. I don't know. I feel like he says he's too aware of his surroundings. He's too conscious. He's too he has common sense. You might say, I don't know, that kind of thing, to know what's going on around him at all times. I don't think he's, you know, darting his eyes around like a madman, but he just knows what's going on. I guess he knows what's going to happen. I don't know, that kind of thing comes to mind. He's too clever to be robbed, for real. Anyway, I'm sweating. Good Lord. We have the refrain. I hear a call, I hear a cry, I raise my voice, I have no choice. It almost feels like he's a superhero or whatever. I hear a call, I'm there. I raise my hand, I hammer twice, I see no point in being nice. And it's almost like, at this point too, I talked about uncomfortability, if that's a word, earlier. And it's almost like at this point, for where what he believes in, what people believe in, whatever it is, there's no point in being nice. There's no point in being courteous anymore. Just to, if you don't want to be seen as a jerk, whatever, you might just not talk or not say your true feelings about things, whatever the hell. So at this point, he feels like that's not. There's no point in doing that. There's no point in being low key. There's no point in being quiet anymore. Whatever, just get your voice out there and be heard. Finally, there's no point in being nice. And the conviction he had what he said, in being nice. And then there was pauses in between there, because I do believe there's a pause between that and into the second verse. And I don't know. I just like the I guess the pauses. What was the word I'm looking for then? I guess maybe the drama that creates in a way, the atmosphere that creates, just little pauses, and you're kind of waiting for him to come back in. Anyway, let's go on to the second verse. I am not a dog on a chain. I use my own brain. He uses those parts again, which again, it's straightforward. I use my own brain. Anyway, I do not read newspapers, and I don't know if anyone reads physical newspapers anymore. I feel like that's an old thing, but anyway, that's just what comes to my mind, somebody reading the newspaper. They are troublemakers. Listen out for what is not shown to you, and there you'll find the truth. For in a civilized and careful way, they'll sculpture all your views. And again, he's always talked about his disillusionment with the media, whatever, with critics, you might say too, with newspapers, whatever the fuck. Because again, I mean, these people, it depends on what you're reading. Obviously, usually they have a slant. Usually they have, one way for you to look at things. And again, I feel like this point is always just to do your own kind of, your own searching, whatever the hell. Look at both sides, come to a conclusion that you like or that you think is right. And, don't have your views sculptured by, others people or other groups, whatever the fuck. So that comes to mind there. I apologize for swearing. I shouldn't be doing that. So open up your nervous mouth. So there's the point here I was talking about earlier, open up your nervous mouth. Even though you might be nervous, you might not want to speak or, say what you think. You should, because at the end of the day, you'll never know who you are if you don't. That kind of thing comes to mind again. And feel the words come streaming out in volume, pitch, and rising cries, opening your blinkered eyes. And honestly, I think about, opening your eyes again, be aware of your surroundings, like he talked about earlier. I'm too clever to be robbed. But I think about, Jim Morrison. I think he said, one time, wake up, and at the beginning of a song or a performance that I remember. Anyway, just wake up and open your eyes, your blinkering eyes. My goodness, blinkered eyes, I apologize. For otherwise, you'll never know who you are or all that you can do. Again, the empathy comes into play here a little bit, I would say, if you want to. Again, if you want to find out who you are, I mean, just, speak your mind, I guess, or be who you want to be and, find your liberation, whatever. I'm not a dog in a chain. You've got to be insane. Again, I just think about him saying you got to be insane to even assume that. And again, as somebody who has, I mean, my God, reacted to so many Morrissey songs, I would say, yeah, I wouldn't think that he's a dog in a chain, unless he's on a chain, when he's doing something in the bedroom. I don't know what the hell. One is company and two is a crowd, and crowds are loud. And again, I don't think this has to do with that really, but I think about how he's pretty much, he said he's an introvert in a way, and how he probably doesn't like crowds. I don't like crowds myself. I've gotten better at it, but anyway, and crowds are loud. Crowds can, be destructive. They can get things done, no matter what side, whatever they're fighting for. They can be loud and destructive and, have their voices heard. So anyway, I just think about, two is a crowd, and maybe, crowds are loud. Sometimes crowds can be too much. Good Lord. And then we have the last part here, the refrain. Oh, maybe, and this part here is kind of nuts. Oh, and maybe I'll be skinned alive. And that's quite the picture, he paints there. Good Lord. By Canada Goose, because of my views. And again, as a Canadian, and I don't know, I guess Canadian geese are all around. But Canadian, those geese are some freaking ruthless bastards. I gotta say, I've never been attacked by one, but I've seen other people get attacked, and they just fucking go at you, and they're nuts. I mean, my God. Anyway, I could be skinned like a Canadian goose, I guess, by Canada Goose because of my views. I guess he's not saying like a Canada Goose because he says by and not like. Anyway, because of the truth, because of my fleece, because of my niece, like drinking ink, the words explode. Again, these words here, and when the music is really riling up, really, getting even louder, and he's talking about explode, and then he goes on, fatter than fists, louder than blows, and, I just picture somebody punching the crap out of whatever, and, and again, the music matches the lyrics here so well. Anyway, the dead are dead, ice cold and hard. Now, the last 4 lines here, talking about the dead all of a sudden, I was like, where's he going with this? So the dead are dead, ice cold and hard, to where they can't be overcharged. They have no breath, they have no eyes, at least they won't be going twice. So obviously the song is talking about freedom, it's talking about being yourself, talking about not, I guess, conforming, whatever the hell, talking about societal norms, that's hard to say, and all that stuff. But the last few lines, I was like, what's he talking about the dead? Are we talking about how the dead people don't matter anymore? Because he's just saying, the dead, they're cold and hard. I mean, that gives out a connotation of like, well, they're gone and who cares? Almost in a way. They can't be overcharged. I mean, they can't be charged at all, obviously, because they're dead. I mean, they ain't paying anything back at this point. Anyway, they have no breath, they have no eyes at this point. Yeah, again, maybe they were eaten by worms or whatever in the ground. At least they won't be going twice. At least they won't be dying again, because they already are dead. They won't be going twice. I don't really know what, leave your comments down below what you think he's talking about at the end there, I guess. But either way, obviously the whole, song all encompassing is, again, talking about being yourself, talking about finding out what you believe in, finding out who you are, and again, yeah, just it's going to be a sad existence if you never do, I guess, and that's the whole point. And yeah, so anyway, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the thunderous sound. Again, I understand people saying, some of these lines are cringy, but the music, I still see a lot of people talking about how the music is very good and very enthusiastic, my God, and airy, like I said, and energetic as hell. So that was fun. So great work here, because I know this was a song that both Tobias and Morrissey put together. They wrote it, my God. So there we go. Great work from both of them, and I really liked it a lot, especially the drums. And now the cat's scratching the carpet. So it's time to go. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all the stuff. Really appreciate all the support. My videos always go too long now. I don't know what I'm doing. I just keep yapping. But thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.